Okay, can anyone hear me? I hope my sound's coming through. Yeah, okay, awesome. I'm just starting the stream now for the positive mindset. Yeah, we're all good. Select stream. Okay, I just hope I've got the right stream here. All right, awesome. I'm going to go for it. Welcome to the Positive Mindset live stream. The first live stream. I've wanted to do this for a while, and every Friday evening, 9 p.m, I'm going to be hosting sessions around well-being, life coaching, mental health, positive mindset, practical tools, and get some interactive feedback from any help and support that either I experience through the week that I feel is relevant to put into a live stream. Let's interact. Let's do some Q&A and talk through actually what will help people. So this is me, Life Coach Rav. Welcome to the live stream, all about positive mindset. And before I go into the positive mindset agenda and what I'm going to talk through in the next, I assume it will be 45 minutes, but we'll keep going, is stuff that isn't just wishy-washy. I'm not just talking about stuff that is virtuous. I use this stuff myself. I need the positivity in my life, so I actively engage with the material and share it, and I wish and I hope it helps you in some way, and that's my primary focus. So the definition of a positive mindset is when problems arise, you trust yourself that you can, there we go, here we go. You can trust yourself that you'll be okay and good things will happen. It's not that things are always going to be okay and you're always going to think, this is fantastic, life is great, and completely negating the negative feelings that you might feel at times. That's natural, right? We're not always going to feel great about ourselves. It's about then when we do feel like that, being self-aware, being confident to know, actually, I can reduce how amplified this feeling is. And I can shorten the time I feel like crap. If you can reduce that curve when you're not feeling great to then feel okay, to feel good, to feel great, and feel positive and happy again, that's what can build with focusing a little bit on some of the tools I'll be talking through. So really what I want to focus on is a few things that have helped me throughout my life, currently what I've helped other people with, and I'll be open to some Q&A. So if there's anything that you want to know around what I'm talking about, please just comment and I'll go as we progress. So what I'm going to run through is gratitude, a check-in I like to do regularly with myself, with the kids, with the family. I do it at work, and it's a great quick exercise to just bring awareness and a quick positive burst within whatever space you're in. We'll look at feelings and the emotional element of that. Bounce back, something called neuroplasticity. So essentially, when you do feel negative or some emotions that are unwanted, how can you then start to feel positive again and bounce back essentially? Toxic positivity, so looking at affirmations, and not just affirmations in the toxic positivity sense. If I just say it's going to happen, what's behind that to actually get me there? And reframing, so reshaping certain things we might say about life, about ourselves, that can just help us feel a little bit different, a bit more positive about certain things without actually changing anything within the situation, just feeling a bit different about it by reframing. And then there's an element of just doing it, putting in the work and building the evidence to support the positivity that you're feeling. So just doing it, Nike's motto, and we'll talk about that, and then I'll look at any comments, any questions at the end, and see if there's something that I need to address, I can help people with. So let's see. All right, so let's look at gratitude. There are three perspectives with gratitude. There's past, present, and future. The present is the only thing that exists. We are outward beings, and actually what we think resonates with our body and it goes out, but actually we take in a lot of input. So something that can help just ground your feelings and just realize, okay, where am I at, is in the past. Think about something that's happened in the last week that you're proud of or that you've achieved. Something that I'll share with you and that I'm proud of is getting a better balance between work and home life, and having a slightly more hard line between when I log off and not thinking about home whilst I'm at work, and when I'm at home not thinking about work. And that's been something I've been proud of in the last week. So that's the past perspective that can help you just feel a bit more positive. What are you proud of, or what have you achieved in the last week? As small or as big as you want. Present, what are you grateful for right now? Just remind yourself of something simple that you're grateful for. Two things that I'll share. One thing that I'm massively grateful for is Gups, my wife. Like, she's massively supportive of everything that I do, and I wouldn't be able to do this without her. You see me as the front of camera and the very person of the I am life coach, who have the branding and all the stuff, but actually behind the scenes she is massively supportive, and I'm grateful for her. Another thing I'm grateful for is you. Anyone watching this, anyone learning from it, I'm grateful for. So appreciate and thank you for taking on some things that I'm sharing. So I'm grateful for that. That can help bring presence of actually what in the moment am I grateful for. It can be something as simple as like the day. I'm simply grateful that I'm able to just have simple and daily amenities that a while back, like a hot shower, most people didn't have. The opportunities that I suppose the internet, and in my case YouTube, gives me, is something that we can all be grateful for. And in the future, what can you look towards that is positive? So either something that you have in the next week to look forward to, or a goal that you set. So something that I'm looking forward to is, it's Friday evening, I'm looking forward to some great family time over the weekend, and just switching off from a bit of tech and just spending time with the kids and the family. So past, present, future, what you're proud of in the last week, what you're grateful for, and what you've got to look forward to. Those three perspectives can help bring some positivity in the moment. So just think to yourself, what few things are you grateful for? What things have happened in the last week that you're proud of, and that you can look back and think, yeah, do you know what? That was something good that happened in my life. And then finally, actually, what have you got to look forward to pull you into the future? Not face the future with anxiety or uncertainty, as much as there's an element of that. Take a step into the future with a bit of positivity, and that can just help us feel a bit more happier with our lives and just be grateful. So that's a practice that can very quickly, very easily bring that about. Right, the next thing we'll look at is feelings. So the feelings I put on a spectrum. We can go from all the way feeling like negative to positive, and wherever you are on this, what is the important thing to try and focus on is, what can I do? What are the layers of things I need in my life to try and feel a bit better? You can mind map, and you can just put a list of things of, all right, what is it that I need to do to make me feel a bit better about myself? And it might not just be one thing, it might be multiple things, but then layering that up, and wherever you are on the emotional spectrum, layering up the things over time to feel better about you, life, and trying to keep yourself at the higher end as much as possible and keep yourself at the lower end as little as possible. Feelings can be very much up and down, and they look a bit like this. So what you can also do when you're at the lows is, naturally, the dips can be a bit less. So when you are feeling not so positive, then there's a list of things that you might be able to do in your life, like phone a friend, journal, listen to music, go to the gym, go for a walk, whatever it is that you know is going to bring you joy and peace and fuel that, because there's things that will take away and activities that take away your positivity, and there's things that and people that will help you feel better about yourself. Know your people, find who they are, spend time with them, phone them, hang around them, emulate them. If you know somebody who's always positive and has that about them, and they walk into a room with a bit of aura and you think, do you know what, I'd love to be like that. Find the characteristics that they do and that they have, and there's nothing that you can't actually have yourself. Look, I'm having a look now. Have we got any people asking anything? No. Okay, cool. We'll keep going. So I want to talk about bouncing back. This is the scientific element of this. So some of the stuff I've talked about is very emotionally driven. This is the logical element of it. So our brains neurologically are wired in certain ways. We can rewire them, and the way we can do that is by neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is basically how flexible are our brains. Kids are very moldable because they learn a lot and their brains are growing. As we get older, that's harder, not impossible, but it's harder to then reshape and think in different ways. So if you see this brain diagram here, you'll notice it's a bit like a maze, and our thought patterns will flow through different parts of the brain. If you're stuck in a negative thought pattern, you can be at one of the dead ends. So if you look here, like, you can be in a pit, and what that does mean is no matter what you're thinking about, you just see it in a negative way because you're just stuck in that part of the brain. One tool that can help you just back out of that feeling and get into a better space, I suppose, is mindfulness. Becoming aware of your body, your breath, your surroundings, and just having that awareness. What I'd like you to do is just be aware right now of your neck and your shoulders. As I say that, just feel how tense they are and just loosen up a bit, just relax. And that can help you just back out of that feeling. What emotion comes next, we don't know. We're not trying to look for the next emotion. What we're trying to do is back away from the negativity and get out of that pit. Once we can do that, then we can actually start to find the next feeling, rewire our brain, and figure out what's next, but at least get not stuck in such a rut. So if your brain is like a road, this is the road, we're traveling in this direction. If you are constantly thinking negative thoughts, your brain is going to travel this way. That has more traction. Your brain wants to go where it's already been. This is why thinking positively, to begin with, I suppose, can be very tough because you're not used to it. So if I have another line here, there's one blue line, so I've only travelled, or my brain has only thought positively once. Your brain might naturally, because there's more traction towards the negative thought patterns, be wired to go that way. So then the first time you think positively, it's conscious, you have to think about it. Then the next time you might start travelling down that road, and then actually your brain wants to go this way, so you have to consciously go to the positive thought pattern and rewire your brain in that sense. And as you keep doing that, you will get more traction towards the positive thoughts, and this will start to fade. And naturally then, when you start to practice positive thinking and just realize, okay, I'm not, like, negative thoughts aren't false, they're just not the best or most productive way to think. So it's like, all right, how can I think differently that supports where I want to go? That's conscious, that's hard, that takes a bit of effort. And then as you get a bit more traction, as you start to do that consciously, it gets easier, and then naturally you'll just be more positive. And even me, I've been in a space where I've thought negatively. I've had to read certain books, take in positive and motivational audio material whilst I'm on a walk, and affirmationally say things to myself, and just slowly get to that conscious, all right, I'm doing it, and then now it just becomes second nature. So when I see and when I hear people becoming negative or say negative things about themselves, I'll call them out. Like, okay, say something positive. What are you grateful for? Just help people check in with themselves. So it's not necessarily untrue, it's just not the best or most useful way to think about yourself. So just think about that. Are you naturally wired to think negatively? And if so, consciously rewire yourself, which is habits and takes a bit of effort, but over time, quite a short bit of time, the negative thought pattern will fade. The positivity track will get more synapses firing in your brain. You'll rewire it, and then actually you'll naturally become more positive. And that snowballs, that compounds. It's not just a cycle, it's a downward spiral. But one rotation of the spiral can very much get you quite high, quite quick. You start eating healthy, then you start going to the gym, and then you start being better at other things, and that compounds. And that can help you very much get on top of what you need to. So that can help you bounce back. And if you are stuck in a place, try mindfulness. And mindfulness is just focusing on something, breath, being aware of certain things. Like I said, be aware of your shoulders and neck and just relax that. And it's that awareness. I've explored that recently, and that's helped me. Find what works for you. It might not work for you, but try it. Put the reps in, put the work in. It's about getting mentally fit. Similarly to being physically fit, if you like exercise, different exercises and different forms of working out are going to work for different people, but the goal is to be healthy, to be fit, to be physically fit. What will help you become mentally fit will be different to you. Mindfulness, journaling, phoning a friend, counseling, therapy, going for a walk, getting some sunshine, spending time with family, all of these things, making progress towards a goal. All of these things will compound. So find what works for you, do more of that, do the reps, do the work, and over time you will mentally get into a better space. At least that's what's worked for me. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk through is affirmations. And this is the toxic positivity element of it. So it's not just affirmations for affirmation's sake, right? I can say, I am this, I am that. And there are a few things that are actually true. So I'll talk about something that's bigger than I am, which is we are. So we are alive. We are very lucky. We are blessed. And we can be grateful. We are good enough. And we are worthy of the things that we work for and we deserve. Good and kind things to happen to us. That is true for all of us, right? So we are good enough. We're deserving of the things that we have. We're blessed and we're lucky and we're alive. What a time to be alive. So this affirmationally will help you to begin with, but it will get you part of the way there. The next step is actually, yes, it's true, but what can I live towards that is bigger than actually just the current truth? In my handle, I've got I am life coach Rav. That helps me realize what values I want to live by, what I want to be known for, and my actions in a given day are aligned towards that. What do you want to be known for, and what can you align to help you focus your energy to let other people say those things about you? If you want to be hardworking, or you want other people to call you hardworking, you have to put in hard work. And then when somebody else says, oh, you work really hard, then actually you're starting to bear fruit. But don't step off the gas. Often people are so focused, and we are so focused on going faster and putting more pressure on the gas pedal. Sometimes it's just taking our foot off the brake, which will get us started, and that's what can get the ball rolling. Affirmationally, as much as I'm saying think about what you want to be known for, there's action behind that. So think positively about what you want to be. So I am life coach Rav. What do I need to do to be known as a life coach, as somebody who helps people with their well-being, with their goals, with their personal development, with their lives? What are the actions I need to take? And there's action behind that. So I need to stack up the evidence to support that. And then if I do that enough, there will be some results. And that result gives me self-confidence to reaffirm who I believe I am, which then cycles around for me to do more and more. And that is a cycle. So the affirmations themselves, it's like I said, it's a bit of toxic positivity. So it's not just a case of okay, I have to say it and it will be true. I say it, but I have to back it up with certain things. If you want to be a certain way, if you want to be known for certain things, what are the actions that you can take to be that way? If you want to be more positive, what do you know from the people around you, from people you see, from people you hear, from any public figures that are positive? What are the traits that they have that you can emulate? What is somebody that you think is a positive mindseted person? What do they do? And what then can you do? What are the action steps that you can do to then get the results of being more positive? And that, it takes a bit of time, and that's where I help people coach them into that space and figure out, okay, what is it that you want to achieve? How can you do more of that? And then I can help you be accountable and just check in with well, you said you want to do this. How are you getting on? Have you made progress? Awesome. If not, how can we do more of that to get you there? Okay, so the next thing is reframing. This is where we can turn negative talk, self-talk, into positive self-talk. And what I want to invite is questions. So I don't think I can see questions. Let me have a look. Live chat. Okay. I am not rich enough. I'm putting this in the chat to see if it comes up for me and others, and if it does, and if you can see it, then great, that allows me to know it's working. If not, then I'm gonna have to rethink it. But essentially for now, what I'll do is rephrase these. So from I can't, it could be, how do I learn how to do it? I'm not able to at the moment. What do I need to be in a position to, what skills do I need to be in a position to be able to say I can do it? If you don't know, you can rephrase that to, I'll find out. I don't know is actually a great, curious question. I don't know yet. Let me figure that out. And if you don't know the answer to the question, so often I hear people say, they try and blag it. They try and say an answer that doesn't actually make sense. Just be honest. Like, I don't know. Let me find out for you and come back to you. That's honest, and I'll actually appreciate. Most people appreciate that more than you trying to lie your way through the fact that you might not know something. It's too hard can be rephrased to it's a challenge. And that challenge, anything worth doing is hard. It's overcoming that, all right, I want the results, but I have to go through the stuff that I may not want to do to get the results. I found it very difficult to set up this live stream and figure the stuff out pretty much in a day. So I committed to this at the start of the week. I posted it yesterday, which actually publicly committed me to the live stream. And in the last day, I've put everything together. Everything you see here is less than 24 hours worth of work, including all the slides and everything, and figuring out how I can incorporate that into a live stream and setting it up on YouTube. This is my first one, so long may it continue, but it's me wanting to be able to help people on a regular weekly basis, and life might change that I can't, but that's the rhythm. And what do I need to do? So this is the first step in doing that, overcoming that challenge of how do I set up and do a live stream, and first of all, what's my internal feedback, what's the feedback I get from people who see this, so thank you if anyone gives feedback, and then I'll watch it back and then improve it over time, and get to a space where actually hopefully it's refined to a place I'm comfortable and better. Right, off track, but back to the reframing. I'm worried I'll fail. Rephrase it to, I'm curious about what will happen. I'm not good at it. Again, breaking down the skills into what do you need to get better. A big goal is great because it can drive us and pull us to something massive, but it can also be overwhelming and daunting. So if you're not good at something, what is the small step you need to do? Like running a marathon is a goal that I've had for a while. I've not run one yet, and that might be a goal for you, but I can't just walk and just start to run a marathon straight away. So, but I can take one step, and I can get better, and over time, if I am disciplined and consistent enough, I can increase my abilities to be able to do what a stretch goal might give you. So aim for something massive by all means, but then focus on the habits, the small steps, and the little actions you can take to get the little wins. Set yourself up for a win. Like, think of a goal, and no matter how, break it down to the smallest version of the goal that you can. No matter how small you think, you can break it down even smaller. Just one small step towards something, and then you can tick the box, and that can make you feel a bit better about yourself. Like, I did the thing. A lot of it is in our heads, and we're just like, I can do the thing, and if I just did the thing, which took me like 5 minutes, me mentally thinking about it for an hour cost me so much time. Like, in the time that I was thinking of doing the thing, I could have just done the thing. And it's mentally overcoming that barrier of just getting on with it, and that's hard. That is hard, and we'll look at that in the sort of just do it bit next. But there's two more pieces. That is, I'm not ready, I need to know more first. There's planning, by all means be prepared. But then there's over planning. Like, at some point you just have to get over that, right? Let me just fail at it, let me just figure it out as I go. And there's over planning, which turns into like procrastination. At this point, you know enough to start, so just start, and be okay with failing, be okay with sort of not getting it perfect straight away, and you'll get better over time. And that's sort of my principle within what I'm doing, within everything you might see online. I'm too old now. I'm in my late 30s, and I feel that, why didn't I start this earlier? I wish I'd done more in earlier age, but I can't turn back time. What I can do is, when I hit my 50s, be grateful I started it in where I'm now. So it's never too late. There's plenty of stories. KFC, Colonel Sanders, he built KFC in his 70s. The founder, Ray Kroc, who founded McDonald's, he did it in his mid-50s. So there's plenty of stories of people who've succeeded and done the thing later in life. So you're never too old. Do you feel old? Like, we all get older, but we don't have to feel old. That's a mindset, and that can help you get over the reframe. So at this point, I'm going to see, has anyone put any questions about what? Okay, so what I'm going to do, as I go into the next bit, I'm going to challenge myself here. So put as a negative statement or anything in the chat that you might want me to reframe. Anything at all. Give me a challenge, make it really difficult, and I will aim to use my own positive mindset to find a positive within anything that someone shares. I can't see the chat within where I'm streaming from, so I have to flick screens, but if I can see it, then I'll answer it, and if not, then I've got a flight leave. You want to go out? That's the dog, by the way. You're not going out? Okay, we'll go on to the next bit, which is just do it. I've talked a bit about that anyway, and Nike's motto is I can't word it any better, which is, there is a point in time where you just have to do the thing. You have to put in the work, and that is some of the hardest reality checks that you have to face, where, like, if you want to get the outcomes, you must put in the work. And there's consistency, there's discipline, but the feelings and like the motivation, motivation will fluctuate. I've got another sort of way to draw it for you, and I've done this in one of my other videos. But so when we start something, motivation is typically going to be high. Hope you can see that, yeah. And then as we don't see results, it starts to dip. And then as we make progress and get closer to our goal, then our motivation increases again. What consistency and discipline do is tick the box every day. All right, Nicks. So at this point in time, where most people give up because their motivation is low, discipline and consistency will tick the box every day. And again, I'll use a physical analogy. Like, when you're motivated to work out, you will work out. When you're not motivated to work out, you might not. If you're consistent and disciplined, you will just do it regularly enough to see the rewards. And that's where you just need to start. Starting is the hardest thing, because you're standing still. Once you start to get a bit of momentum, things will move quicker. And as they move quicker, then you will start to see progress and you can move a bit faster, and that can get you over the line. All right, I've talked a lot there, and the last thing I want to ask is and see if there's any questions. Okay, I've seen one question which is, I didn't achieve anything today. We are blessed and we are alive today. We have been able to see through the day. And did you eat today? Did you have a drink today? Did you interact with someone today? If so, you've achieved something. And although you may not acknowledge that, some of the smallest acts can help us feel like, actually, yeah, I did help someone today. I talked to somebody, and that was helpful. I moved my body in a way that I haven't before. I've done a little bit more than I might have done yesterday. And if you don't feel like you've achieved anything, tomorrow you can set yourself up for that. And committing to something in the future can help you do that. So having somebody hold you accountable, like a gym partner, or publicly saying you're going to do something, can help. And that's where goal setting and habits and accountability can help you with that. But I've seen a question which is, I didn't achieve anything today. Actually, by simply investing in the time to watch me here, you've achieved something in your personal development, and hopefully you've learned something too. So I don't see any other questions. I make that stream about half an hour. Everything I've wanted to share, I have. And the last parting words I'll leave with is, it's not all going to be rosy. You're not always going to feel positive. That's okay. Acknowledge and take in every feeling. It's not about completely disregarding some of the negative thoughts that you might have. It's embracing them, trying to reduce their intensity, trying to reduce their duration, and find what helps you get in a more positive space, whether that's speaking to somebody, whether that's affirmations, whether that's rewiring and just checking in with yourself to appreciate what you might have achieved, something you're grateful for, and something that you've got to look forward to. That simply can help you feel a bit more positive. Now, on a separate and personal note, if you want to reach out to me and you're having individual challenges that you might not want to share in a wider public social space, then if you've got any means to reach out to me, I'm Life Coach Rav. Thank you, appreciate massively for tuning in. Peace out. Bless.